All we need is a plan. Chong, how long do those torches last?
About 2 hours each.
And we have 5 torches, so that's 10 hours.
It doesn't work like that if they're all lit at the same time.
Oh, right.
I recently got extremely invested in the 2005 animated Nickelodeon television series Avatar: The Last Airbender, and whether my near obsession with the show came due to the beautiful simplicity in its magic system, the sheer authenticity in its heroes and villains, the fantastic development of an entire ensemble cast, or the nuanced depth to its world building, it's clear to me and most others that it's some really good storytelling. Avatar is always something I knew existed growing up, but for a show to stand the test of time like Avatar has, and to still have a majority of people returning to it as adults, just shows how good it is. What I think the show does exceptionally well, and perhaps the main reason why it's so great, is because of the way it presents us with opposites. Whether it be the moon and the ocean spirits, the consistent talk of yin and yang, or even the elements themselves. But I think the opposite that truly stands out to me as the greatest and most comprehensive is the opposite between Aang and Zuko. It raises their status to dual protagonists. There are a good amount of dual protagonists scattered throughout film and television. You have Watson and Holmes in Sherlock, Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I think what's important to note is that these characters serve to be two sides of the same coin while pursuing the same objective. Sherlock and Holmes are working together to defeat Moriarty and, well, just generally solve murders. Dalton and Booth are trying to find their place in a world that has seemingly moved past the need for them. Avatar does something almost completely different, which is that Zuko and Aang both pursue what the other possesses. They both are becoming who they need to be in order to correct the sins of the broken relationship between Sozin and Roku. It's the fact that we watch these two characters become the leaders they need to be in this new world that makes Avatar so compelling, so heartwarming. A growth that's built on community versus identity. Zuko was born and bred into an environment that favors the might of a sole individual over a group. He sees those around him as obstacles. Hell, there even is a cultural practice of fighting one-on-one to resolve disputes over land and property. The Fire Nation and Zuko himself base the unit of importance on the individual. And while Zuko fails in recognizing his place within a community, and ultimately which community, his sense of self is ridiculously strong. Aang, on the other hand, comes from a society that values collectivism and working together. We see Aang as being an effective member of a larger group in Team Avatar, and throughout the series, we as an audience share with Aang the understanding that he cannot do this alone. When presented with the prospect of being the Avatar, Aang struggles in accepting that he is unique, an identity that Aang never asked for being placed on him with the added responsibility of living up to the legacy of the incarnations that came before him. Not only that, but Aang's identity is the last airbender, the sole preserver and hope for a way of life that, besides its architecture, is all but dead, puts immense strain on him. When he is told to let go of his attachments to pursue his identity as the Avatar, he chooses to run away. Meanwhile, Zuko desires more than anything to be accepted, to be loved, to be a part of a family or a society where he is wanted and appreciated. This is what fuels his pursuit of Aang for the entirety of the first season, to capture Aang and make his father proud, to be reaccepted into a society that frankly cares nothing about him and never did. Zuko's individualism prevents him from recognizing the value of true connection, a hope to be accepted without truly knowing what it means to be a part of something. This struggle, in my opinion, is the greatest part of Avatar. Not only do we watch a young boy struggle with the immense responsibility and sheer power gifted to him and his desire to find his identity, but we watch a teenager reconcile with his past and discover what it means to be a part of something, to help someone, to be better than the upbringing he was raised in. Where Zuko knows his identity, he doesn't know how to use it to better others, and where Aang knows how to better others, he has no idea what his identity means. Their character designs even showcase this duality. Aang is given a tattoo on his head that is ceremonially gifted to masters of airbending, a symbol of his participation in something greater than himself, while Zuko is given a horrific scar on his face by someone he thought loved him, a symbol for his subsequent banishment and rejection by the only family he's ever known. What I think makes Avatar so powerful is the way these struggles resolve together. Aang being tasked with defeating Ozai and Zuko facing off against his sister Azula. This is the epitome of this dyad, the crowning moment where both characters are faced with tasks that essentially prove their growth in these respective areas. There's a fantastic scene where Aang consults his past lives. It's here and in the following scene where Aang is gifted energy bending, or the ability to bend the life force of another being, that Aang realizes that while he is the Avatar, he is also Aang. He's been pursuing an idea of what it means to be the Avatar without fully realizing that naturally, by birth, he is the Avatar, and so has to solve his problems in his own way. He has to accept his identity as both an individual and the incarnation of a 10,000-year-old spirit to be successful. While the ending of the show and energy bending is sort of a deus ex machina, I think what the Lion Turtle says is a true testament to Aang's journey. The true mind can weather all the lies and illusions without being lost. The true heart can tough the poison of hatred without being harmed. Energy bending is Aang's true greatest test. To be true to himself, to know who he is, to know his identity both as the Avatar and as Aang, and to stay firm in it. Because if he doesn't, he'll fail. Either Ozai will win or Aang will be forced to kill Ozai, both of which destroy a part of Aang. Then there is Zuko. Facing Azula is something that he knows he can't do on his own. He's in complete opposition with Aang here, where Aang recognizes that defeating Ozai is something he has to do on his own. Zuko knows that he can't. It's Katara that ultimately defeats Azula, but it's Zuko's reliance on her that is the pinnacle of his arc. He takes a blow that he knows will bring him down in order to protect someone else, something he never would have done before, something that requires him to trust Katara entirely, and more than that, be willing to sacrifice himself for her. On the final Agni Kai scene, I just want to break it down for a minute because I think it's important to note its parallel to a previous scene, the lightning scene from the Season 2 finale, The Crossroads of Destiny. Aang and Zuko are both at their most vulnerable in pursuit of their goals here. Aang, for the first time, chooses himself over another, himself over his relationship to Katara, and Zuko in his decision to sacrifice himself for Katara. It's a defining moment for both of them because it represents a moment where they each grasp what it is they need to do. Zuko gives himself up as a demonstration of his place in the community, and Aang accepts his identity as the Avatar. Even their scars match. Aang's on his back and Zuko's on his chest. They effectively have become bonded. There are countless duos across the multitude of films and television shows that exist in the world, but I think what separates Avatar from the rest is that Avatar's protagonists ultimately work in completely inverse directions. Aang learning to develop his identity and Zuko learning to be a part of a community. I think it's this inverse relationship that the writers get so very right, something that I think other films try to capture but ultimately fail at, and something that makes Zuko and Aang so nuanced as dual protagonists. They each move towards what the other has, but in a way that makes us appreciate them both and ultimately love them both. It's part of what makes Avatar so great, and part of why I keep thinking about this show. It's what makes Avatar truly stand the test of time. Hey guys, so if you like what you just saw and you want to see more, do me a favor and like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. All of those links are going to be down below. All the support I can get right now, I'm going to be appreciating a heck of a lot as I try to get this channel up and running. I'm going to be trying to post videos once every 2 weeks. So yeah, the more that you guys can give me that support, give me that love, the more I can give it back to you and make more content. So thanks so much guys, and for now, take care.